somebody starts out a thing and they go from there.
Belle Reve, and we are going to perform for you tonight a long-lost play from the author Tennessee Williams. You may know him as the playwright of The Glass Menagerie, Streetcar Named Desire, and whatever this is. Now, the thing is, about tonight, Tennessee Williams forgot to write the title down, so we're going to need your help. We need, first, an object you might find in your grandparents' attic.
Yarn.
Yarn. Thank you.
Old trunk.
Ah, thank you very much. But I heard yarn first.
Okay.
However, I do need an adjective, which is a describing word, like the word old.
Smelly frame.
Ooh, I think I heard stinky over here. Belle Reve presents the Stinky Yarn.
All right.
Everything's wrong. Oh, no. Oh, goodness, the time's going off. Oh, okay. It's fine. Just a little bit of salt.
I can smell you from upstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, Margaret. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. Just open up the windows up there.
Therese, you know I haven't opened a window in 4 years.
Oh, I know those brittle little nails of yours. I'm sorry, Margaret. I'll open up the window down here. How's about that?
When you move, you omit odors that I've never, ever imagined. Therese, I think you might be ill.
Well, Mama does say I'm ill in the brain, but I think she doesn't mean it.
Well, may she rest in peace.
Why must you bring up Mother on the anniversary of her passing, Margaret?
Therese, you brought up
I knew it as soon as I said it. It's the special lasagna she always made. And I know it's filthy and disgusting and people can smell it down the block, but it reminds me of Mama.
Oh. Well, I never liked the way that she made lasagna, but I do like the way that her money got transferred to her eldest daughter, me.
Margaret, speaking as such, I did request kindly, very kindly last week, that I should have 2 pence for my allowance this week. And I only had 1 when I woke up. I'm sorry. I know, I'm standing up for myself. 2 pence.
If I had an extra pence for every time that I had a desire, I'd be more wealthy than I am.
What do you desire, Margaret, besides snide remarks and the looks of every man in this town?
What don't I desire? I was wondering, do I look good in mink?
The animal?
What else would I be referring to? Has the odor gone into your brain to bring you to see the doctor? Do you need a lobotomy?
No.
Because I do not need to not see the doctor this week.
No.
He is...
I do not like Dr. Richardson, and I've told you this many a time. He always has these cold, cold hands, and he puts it on my face every time, like, hello, darling, how you doing? And you don't need to touch my face. What if I'm sick?
He's the doctor. He sees sick people for a living. I like when he touches my face. He could give me a lobotomy or other otomies. What are the other otomies?
I'm sure you discover those other otomies behind the barn every Friday.
Goodness.
I'm sorry. I really do want that second pants. I'm sorry. I'm going to rewind back to before I said that. I'm going to say you know all the otomies because you are learned. Mama could only afford to send one of us to school, and it's not fair just because you were born first, Margaret. You know, I'm smart too. I made this. And I opened that window just now.
You did. I do not like to open windows because I like to keep my hands soft just in case anyone wants to give me a lobotomy.
What if I want a lobotomy? Not really, but if we're speaking in innuendo, maybe I'd want a lobotomy one day. If he proposed.
Teresa, if you can find yourself a husband, part of that money goes to you and him.
Really? I thought the dowry just went to the husband. I get part of it?
Well, he'll be in charge of you instead of me.
What a
I wouldn't
change.
mind that.
You don't like being in charge of me?
Oh, it's just, imagine if I had a whole house to myself. I could make all the noise I wanted doing all the things I do.
And it'd be a very hot, stiff house with no airflow.
Make me another julep.
Okay, Margaret. Just could you please play nice today? I do not want to see the doctor. It's Mama's anniversary day, okay? So please just play nice.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should have everyone over for Mama's anniversary death day.
Why would we have people over for that?
Well, it's an excuse to have a party.
Like you need an excuse to have a drink. I mean, yes, of course. What a lovely idea.
Perfect. Fine.
Oh, I could have just used the same.
Damn! I broke another sewing machine.
Well, I find it so remarkable that you, Jeffrey, fiddle about with the women's machinery.
Well, you know, Geraldine, I'd rather spend my time fiddling about with the machinery of women instead of some women themselves. Now give me space so I can repair this here sewing machine.
I've been thinking how nice it would be to have someone fiddle about with my machinery.
Geraldine, you know that I'm the best / only sewing machine repair man person in all town. But I don't know if I'm man enough to repair your machinery.
My machinery is so rusty. It just needs to be lubricated, I think.
Oh my God.
I think at this point I'm the only man in town who hasn't had his look underneath the hood of your machinery. Oh, God, I wish I could have been a doctor like that Dr. Richardson with his handsome face and his very articulate, cold hands.
That Dr. Richardson, he won't perform an exam to my liking. I tell him there are places he could warm his hands. And yet he insists on keeping them cold and sterile.
Well, Geraldine, have you ever maybe tried his method? Maybe a man's touch, if it has a little bit more coldness and a lack of heat and warmth and emotion, maybe that's just what a hot cat like you need.
Well, you know a cat. They just need to be to be pet and played with. Do you know about cats? With all this yarn and thread and things, why a cat just can't help but come up when they see it bobbing up and down.
Geraldine, just when I think I'm sick of you, you just entice me back with your charms. Yes, I know about cats. In fact, one might say that I like cats.
I haven't had a kitty in quite some time, but I love cats too. I like the playfulness of them.
You mean the playfulness when you think that they beckon you, get on their little bellies and say, come pet me, and you go up and they say, no thank you, and scratch you right in your face?
That's right. Do you like that?
No, but yes. I look at it as sort of like the duality of life. Geraldine, I hope you don't mind, but you happen to be right in my seat right now. So why do you come over here, bother me while I'm fiddling with these here sewing machines if you don't have a sewing machine to give me yet?
Well, I just like your company, Jeffrey. I like to spend time with you, and I think one of these days, I'm gonna convert you to one of the men who's known my machinery.
As much as I appreciate you appreciating my company, I wish Miss Margaret would appreciate mine, but apparently I don't make enough of a salary, nor do I have cold enough hands for her taste.
Miss Margaret?
That's right, I said Miss Margaret.
You fancy Miss Margaret?
I'm just saying I wouldn't mind a little bit more of the attention than she gives me right now, because the current amount of attention is none.
Well, I think you're wasting your time. She is a cold one, and always drinking, always kind of nasty. She's going to be alone forever. I think that's how she likes it. Except that sister of hers.
Teresa's a sweetheart. Don't you say nothing mean about her.
Well, I can't say anything mean about her. I also can't say anything kind about her.
That is a very fair thing to say. You know what? I feel like sometimes I'm just sitting here fiddling with other people's machinery when maybe I'd be a happier man if I focused on my own.
Miss Margaret, I have told you, you have no need to be examined yet again this month. What is this, your third exam?
It is, Mr. Richards.
Just give me forgive me, doctor.
I like it when you correct me.
Just a moment, I have to do the cold rinse. Okay.
It just feels as though every week there's another ache, another itch, another...
Are you experiencing stroke, perhaps?
That could be it.
You know, it's all that excessive drinking you do. I can actually smell you from here.
Excessive would be...
Excessive, yes. It's excessive drinking. I know you do. It was also your mother's failing.
Excessive is in the eye of the beholder.
And I'm beholding it right now.
Why don't you behold my head in your cold hands?
Yes, indeed. Open wide, please.
I'm imagining.
Sorry you laughed directly onto my hands, which are now not sterile.
If you think about it, you're just touching me, so... Why do you need to wash them again?
Because I'm a professional doctor.
Hello, doctor, mister.
I'm genuinely worried about you. You come in here reeking of booze and your mother's lasagna, needing your third exam this month.
There are 4 weeks in a month typically, so I will probably need another.
This is a weekly scenario, Miss Margaret.
Well, I seem to still be able to get in. It's not the only thing that could get in.
Oh, God.
You could get into my house for the party tonight. We're celebrating my mother's anniversary of her death. Honoring. Observing.
Well, that sounds lovely, actually. Thank you for thinking of me.
Of course. I knew I was coming anyways, so I thought I would invite you in person.
Well, that's very kind of you.
So I'll see you there.
Most certainly. I'll close up shortly and make my way there. I have to get dressed, obviously.
Oh no, why don't you show up in that coat?
You want me in my doctor's coat at your party this evening?
I've never imagined you in street clothing.
Margaret, this is a most unusual visit, even for you. Are you sure that you're all right? I mean, you have all these facial tics, you reek of alcohol. I cannot emphasize this enough. Your mother's lasagna could kill a man at 10 paces.
Therese made it and I ate it.
Please do not, first of all, do not eat that lasagna. Secondly, that lasagna will not be served this evening, will it?
You should scold me harder.
I'm sorry, I am making a lasagna, so you probably...
Is that what I'm smelling?
Yeah, I know you don't like for me to be near you
No.
when I'm cooking. I've come for my mother's dress. I know she loaned it to you all those years ago, and I want to wear it tonight.
Very well. You can stay out there. I will step inside. I have it in this front closet.
Thank you. I've been thinking about that lovely yarn knitted dress. It's mother's favorite color, beige. And I just don't tell Margaret about it, because then she'll laugh at the idea and then she'll want to wear it. It's very confusing.
Well, here it is. I think some moths might have gotten to it a little. It's just been sitting there. What? It's fine. It looks like a pattern of sorts.
I'm meant to wear this tonight. There's no way. Look at this hole. It's as big as my arm.
You know who might be able to help you? Mr. Jeffrey with the sewing machines. He might be able to fix something up with that.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry, honey. You are just smelling of
Sorry, I was raising my
burnt
armpits. Okay, you do think Mr. Jeffrey can do something with this? I mean, there's less dress than there is dress. You know?
Well, your mother, her sewing and knitting skills were much like her cooking skills. She had them. They were just a little faulty.
Geraldine, despite that very hideous comment about my late mother, I also would like to invite you to a remembrance dinner for her tonight.
I take that back.
Thank you.
Who all will be in attendance?
Oh, you know, just Margaret. Of course, she lives there.
Of course.
Always. And then, oh,
If it isn't my neighbor and my sister, I have been examined by the doctor.
Did he drop some alcohol upon you? I need to be careful with any lit matches or fire. You could just combust.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I'm surprised your hand-eye coordination works so well to bump my nose.
You're surprised?
Mm-hmm.
My hands and my eyes are... There's 4 of them.
is that the time? I believe I hear the crows. I should leave. I'll leave, and you two just, Okay, sure.
I'll see you tonight.
I'll see you tonight, Geraldine. Thank you so much.
You're
For
welcome.
nothing.
No,
I was just here for a social
That's
call.
right.
Yes.
You're coming over?
I was invited.
Wonderful.
I can't wait.
I'm sure you can't. You gonna steal something?
You have anything worth stealing?
My entire house is worth stealing. Don't pretend like you didn't try.
Bring up old history, tall tales and such. Well, that story that I tried to steal your daddy away from your mama and was not successful. That's just a tall tale. That's just a fancy yarn.
Really? So the day he died, the fact that your paws were all over him, I'm just making that up.
Obviously.
Because he smelled like your lilac perfume.
I should spray you with some.
Lilac and mint sound like a good combination.
Your father was a gentleman,
I know.
and we had a fondness for each other. That's all I'll say about that.
Do you have my mother's yarn dress?
I do not.
This was the last place that it went. I want to wear it to the party tonight.
Well, I don't have it. You could search my whole little house and you will not find it.
All of your windows are open.
Fresh air.
I don't like it.
I've noticed the air you come on is stale, and
Well, I live with Therese.
you can't blame it all on her. What do you expect to find?
Anything. The unspooled yarn like you unspooled my mother's life.
Margaret, you're just a sad little girl, aren't you? You should find yourself a husband if you can.
I don't need a husband. I've got
The drink.
There's more to my life than drinking.
I hadn't noticed. Why, talk of the town is you spend most days in bed until 3. You wake up and you start drinking. You drink all day until you pass out, and then you do it again the next day.
I see the doctor every week. One could say we are seeing each other.
You're seeing the doctor.
I'm seeing the doctor.
He examines you every week.
He does. He lets me into his office. He lets me sit on his table and he touches me with his cold hands. Today he told me to open wide.
Been begging him to ask me to open wide.
I'm sure you have. Looks like you can't tear every woman's man away from her.
You see, the thing is, Dr. Richardson, I think it was after that one sewing machine exploded that made the spring lodge itself into my ear canal. I'm no doctor, but that's my personal opinion. Oh my God, so cold.
That's in there good. And you say this happened how many years ago? I'm sorry.
7 years ago, I remember, because today's actually the anniversary. It happened the same time as, well, the death of the two twins of the town, Therese and Margaret. I think that my tragedy was greater, but that's just my personal opinion.
So you carried this spring around in your ear for 7 years, and now you're just coming to see me.
I didn't want to be bothered.
I know what you mean. It's hard to ask for things you need. Sorry, I'm not a
No,
psychologist.
no need to apologize, Doctor. To be quite frank, I admire you, and bit intimidated by you because, well, here I am, just the town sewing machine repairman, just like any town has. And you're the town doctor.
You know, I've been meaning to ask you today, actually, just today. You don't actually sew clothing, you just fix sewing machines. Because I've been asked to wear this very coat out tonight, and I was hoping to maybe get it tailored in a particular way, and I thought maybe you'd be able to help me, but you just work on machine.
You see, it was 7 years ago today, Doctor, that
Yes.
I used to also sew and repair sewing machines, but it exploded on me when I was sewing. And, well, that's why I vowed that I would never use a sewing machine again, but instead I'd only repair it so that mistake would never happen to another poor, unfortunate soul like me.
So you gave up your life's work
I did.
to take on some other form of work that would repair the damage done by your previous life's work.
Why, damn, Doctor, if you ain't articulate.
Look at it. Open wide. Open wide. You're a good man. You have the most beautiful tonsils I've ever seen.
I was told that since I was a child they've been inflamed, but I want to keep my tonsils because they're one of the last things I have.
Standard practice to get rid of tonsils, but I'm telling you, yours are beautiful. Hang on to those tonsils. Well, I see you tonight. I hear there's a soiree. That's why I needed my coat taken in, which you cannot help with, unfortunately.
Well, Doctor, you have given me a courage that I have not felt in 7 years, and I will try my best. I will bring the sewing machine that I repaired for Miss Therese to that party, and also right there in front of everybody, just for you. Right there in front of the party.
Well, I'll bring my spare coat just in case, but thank you, Jeffrey. It's very kind. And I
No, thank you. You've given me an opportunity in helping you to help myself. Sorry, that was rude of me to interrupt. I just had a moment.
Look at me again. No.
Therese, come outside and help me hang the dead streamers.
I would have heard you if the window was open, but it's not, so I didn't hear you.
Come outside and help me hang the dead streamers.
Did you say dead streamers?
I did. They're black. What would you call them?
The remembrance of life streamers. The celebration that all things come to an end whether we like them to or not. You got the paper ones? Is that what your mother means to you? A paper black streamer?
You think I'm gonna spend money to get silk streamers like this is May Day?
Margaret, I'm beginning to think this party has nothing to do with Mother at all.
Oh, you're just now thinking that?
Yes, I just thought it. I said it.
Oh, well, congratulations. I just wanted to throw a party because I'm a lonely woman and I go to the doctor every week to get touched by a man.
Oh my.
But at least you're honest with me. Margaret,
Yes.
why don't we like each other? We used to like each other before Mama died.
Because I secretly think that you might be better than me.
Really? You think I'm not
I
better
said
than-
secretly. Go hold the streamers on that side.
Margaret, I think you're amazing. You're mean and you're rude and you drink a lot, but You have really nice eyes. And you could be nicer. Most of those things you could work on.
Thank you for saying that about my eyes.
You're welcome. Now say something nice about me.
You're very good at holding streamers that I've already taped to the house.
Thank you. Oh,
I'm over here.
okay.
Hold this one.
Okay, you didn't take this one already, did you?
There you go. All right. Now you walk it over there.
Oh, okay. Margaret, I
Drink round.
I don't know if what we're doing tonight is right. Will Mother like it? I mean, we have the doctor coming. Why?
Because I think the doctor needs a wife.
Yeah, no, I get that, Margaret. It's just, you know how the mother felt about Doctor. She hated him.
She hated most people in this town. It's part of why I'm so mean. I get it from her.
I want something from Ma. I can be hatred too. I hate Geraldine. No, I don't. She's really nice to me.
You know what I want to wear tonight?
What?
The yarn dress.
What?
I want to wear Mother's yarn dress. Have you seen it?
I haven't. I've never seen it before in my life.
You know, yes, you have. You know exactly what I am talking about. Therefore, you've seen it, or at least heard of it in theory.
Mother hated yarn. It itched her skin, and she died probably because of it. So you want a death dress. That's not very nice, Margaret. We just talked about being nice.
I want to wear the dress that Mother was wearing when she discovered our dead father.
Why?
Because it's her death party. It's a death theme, and I think yarn would enhance the better parts of my body. So all of it. Except my feet, which are fine, but they don't need enhancing. My eyes, which again aren't touched by a dress, so...
Margaret, do you ever think we're so messed up because we know entirely far too many details about the passing of our parents?
Why would I think about that? That sounds like a recipe for trauma.
Trauma? Is that another word Dr. Richardson's been talking to you about?
Yes. He also mentioned DSM, which I assume stands for something like a bad word that starts with a D.
Donkey.
Oh.
I don't want to know what Dr. Richardson's talking to you about. I'm sure he's just lying like he always does. He's a liar.
Well, am I early? I brought a big bouquet of flowers. Bright, happy flowers for the death celebration.
Oh, well, thank
Geraldine, you
you.
are indeed very early to this party. We're not even dressed yet. I'm still having my pre-cocktail hour beverage.
I probably would need to catch up to you. Can I have one of those?
Therese will make you one.
Yeah.
Those flowers are beautiful. Thank you. We'll put them right out here on the porch.
I'll just set them yonder.
Well, I guess you'll help us get ready for the party then.
Oh, well, I'm good at saying yes. These streamers are something festively macabre.
You know, I read in the magazine that silk is out and now paper is in. So if the French said so, you gotta listen to the French.
I bet you make a strong drink, Therese.
Oh, thank
Must be
you.
how your sister likes them.
Yeah, it's a favorite. She asks for it every morning, afternoon, evening, sometimes after she's already gone to sleep, but then I have to make it double so that she does go back to sleep. But thank you. No, she's never complimented me on it.
Now, where's that dress?
I still have to get it fixed.
What are you two talking about over there? I heard a word that starts with a D and ends in an S.
My, but your hearing is good and your spelling.
I was just saying that I have to take my dress to Jeffrey Because Jeffrey needs to work on the invitations for tonight. I'm having him stitch them. Yeah. I'm not very good at lying.
Why don't you just,
I have a crush on Jeffrey. That's it. I'll go with that one.
The boy plays with a sewing machine.
He doesn't play. It's a job.
Oh,
He's got very talented hands. I have admired his work from afar. I do hope to experience it myself one day.
you and your obsession with fingers. You cannot even think about that boy. He comes from a lowly family, and I heard that he has a pet pig.
So does half the people on this block.
He also has experience with cats.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's nice.
Well, I'm allergic to cats.
Speaking of, I should go get into my outfit for tonight because I don't want a cat to eat it.
Are you the drunk one, or am I?
I don't know. I'm gonna leave. I'll see you soon, Geraldine.
Can't wait to see it.
Where's the dress? Don't lie to me again.
Well, I didn't lie. You asked me if I had it, and I did not have it, as I gave it to your sister.
Semantics.
Pardon me from coming early, ladies. I wanted to bring... Oh,
Why is everyone so goddamn early?
Miss Margaret, it's a pleasure to see you as always. I brought your sister Teresa's sewing machine. I wanted to bring it early and get it set up for, well, something special I'm doing for Dr. Richardson. I'll use the dining table. I don't think it'll be used otherwise this
I
evening.
just love to watch you work, Jeffrey. Don't mind me.
I'll try my best. Well, I can't get to work yet. I'm waiting for Dr. Richardson to bring his coat so I can make it appropriate for formal events like dinner parties and weddings and observances of death anniversaries and the like.
You're so cute.
Thank you.
And talented.
The two of you can quit flirting. I need to put on a different dress for this party, and I need 3 more drinks before the rest of the guests show up, or else I won't feel properly prepared and lubricated.
Miss Joe, Miss Margaret, I'm just a little nervous. I'm not used to these formal occasions. I just come from a lowly family that owns pigs and cats. What I meant to say, Miss Margaret, was I'd be happy to take the dress you're wearing right now and make it appropriate for formal occasions.
Really? You're going to sew something when 7 years ago I know for a very fact you gave up sewing on account of an accident?
Yes, that is correct. An accident which one could argue was at least the second most tragic thing to happen that day.
And if I were to take off this dress, I would be nude in front of my very early guests. What would we do then?
You're not wearing any undergarments? Are you about
Sorry. Miss Margaret, I did not mean to offend. I just got ahead of myself with excitement too. Please.
Therese! Therese, I cannot leave the guests alone. Please come downstairs so I may change.
Okay, I'm just gonna wear my winter coat because I haven't worn it in a while. It's not suspicious.
Therese, it is the dead of summer.
And don't I look good?
You're going to sweat, and it is going to smell worse than Mother's lasagna in this house.
I'm sorry.
It's already started.
It's all right, Miss Therese. I just want to let you know I brought your sewing machine, and it's a pleasure to meet you. I'll see you again. I'm sorry. I'm just so nervous. You have such a fancy house.
Why would you bring that back in this house?
I
told you never to bring that back in this house. How could you, Jeffrey?
thought it would be a very festive thing to bring, and
You vowed You vowed never to do it again. You made a promise. Does that mean nothing? Even on the grave of my poor, innocent, lovely, beautiful mother?
It means everything to me. But you know what means even more to that? So that would make it everything plus just a little bit more. Plus me believing in myself. And I think, I'm sorry, please continue. I didn't know that.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to prove that I was wearing undergarments.
Margaret, get out of here. I'm so sorry.
Give me your coat.
Fine, I will. Yes, that's right, I'm wearing it. In all of its beige glory.
I'm so sorry to arrive early, but
Look at my beige dress! Dr. Richard Singh, or do you want to touch it with your cold hands?
I'm sorry. She must have been drinking.
I'm more interested in why Margaret is wearing her undergarments. Obviously, I apologize for my early arrival.
I don't need the coat. You're in the dress I wanted to wear. Remove it.
I'm not removing my dress in front of the guests. I am not a harlot like some other people in this house.
Well, I seem to have stumbled upon a very interesting turn of events. I'm going to just lay this coat over next to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, is that okay with you?
That would be just splendid, Doc. Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you. See, Jeffrey, well, I guess cat's out of the bag. He was going to take my coat and make it into something appropriate for tonight's festivity.
Yes, that's the most important thing on everyone's minds right now, Dr. Richardson.
I'm merely
Your
explaining
coat.
why I show up with my coat in tow. And I apologize, Therese. I know that you are upset with me generally. But I have done nothing to offend you.
You killed my father.
I did not.
You may not have meant to, but your affair is what killed our father.
This may not be the most appropriate time to mention this, but I realize I did not bring any yarn.
How could you do this?
What? She's got on undergarments.
How could you, Margaret? I'm going to use these paper things.
Are you making a dress out of the street?
We all cannot glaze over the fact that now you have yarn to sew in your sewing machine. And that you had an affair.
That's what I wanted to circle back to. You had an affair?
It was merely a rumor.
With Mama?
Or with their daddy?
How dare you speak? The sewing machine is...
Do not hit anyone!
I am covered in drink.
Always. As if it would make a difference at this point. Take a seat, Margaret.
It's all right, Doctor. The drink didn't get on your fancy coat that's going to be even fancier. Just you watch.
Whatever you
I'll make everything in this party better, I
Do not
swear.
put that yarn in that sewing machine. It's only designed to handle thread. You know that.
I can do this. I can do this.
So who was it? Who was it that you had the affair with that you can't bother to put your hands on anyone who throws themselves at you?
Geraldine, the entire rest of the town has had you. I think I would be one too many.
I still want an answer. You admit to an affair. Who was it with, Doctor?
I invoke doctor-patient confidentiality.
Well, they're all dead. Does that matter?
Absolutely not. I carry it to my grave. I didn't have affairs with anyone in this town, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell anyone. That makes me better than all of you.
Is it inappropriate that I'm still sewing in this?
Go ahead. Do whatever it is you're gonna do.
Open wide, Doctor.
Absolutely not.
that was the Stinky Yarn.